sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll. Show them all what I'm made of. Strut down the hall. Won't stop till I get enough.
All right, so get ready. We're diving deep into heavyweight boxing today. We've got a contender, Martin Bakole. This guy's been making some serious noise, calling out some of the biggest names.
And has been backing it up, too. You know?
Yeah, definitely. You might not know him yet, but we've been digging into some articles and comments, and I think you'll see why this guy is one to watch.
Oh, absolutely. What really stands out is, how he's just climbed the ranks with this, super aggressive style.
Yeah.
You watch him, it's like a bulldozer in the ring.
It's just unstoppable.
Yeah, just relentless pressure wears down his opponents.
And he's been racking up the wins, too. 10 in a row. I mean, he's had one loss back in 2018, but...
Since then, untouchable.
Yeah, exactly. But, you see some people asking, is this guy really a top contender? Or has he just been, carefully matched up?
That's the question, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's had some impressive wins, no doubt about it. Knocking out Jared Anderson. That was a statement. Anderson was a rising star himself. Sent shockwaves through the division.
Totally. And then Tony Yoka, an Olympic gold medalist in his home country, France. Those aren't easy fights.
No, not at all.
And one thing that really stood out to me, I was reading this boxing scene article. It said, content to travel and comfortable in the away corner, Bakole is a man whose single-minded determination is embraced by matchmakers and yet unsettling to those who happen to be standing across the ring from him in the home corner. What do you make of that? Especially that last part. Unsettling.
Yeah, well, it says a lot about the psychological impact of his fighting style, right? It's not just this physical presence. He's mentally draining, too, that constant pressure. It can break a fighter.
Just wear them down?
Yeah. Imagine you're trapped in a phone booth.
Yeah.
This guy's just throwing punches nonstop. You're going to be exhausted, intimidated. The doubt creeps in.
Oh, that doubt. Yeah, and speaking of doubt, I saw some comments, on Boxing Scene. Jake the Boxer, he was saying, yeah, Bakole could beat some top guys, but against these more mobile boxers, the guys who can move, that's where he might struggle.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Think about it. Anderson, Takam, those guys, they're more like stationary fighters.
Right.
Plant their feet, trade punches. Bakole, he thrives in that kind of fight.
But someone who can dance around.
Exactly. Someone nimble, countering. We haven't seen him against that yet.
Okay, and that actually brings us to this upcoming fight. Efe Ajagba.
Oh, this is a big one.
Huge. IBF title eliminator. Winner gets a shot at Usyk, the champ. This is a massive step up for Bakole.
Absolutely. Ajagba, he is dangerous. Serious knockout power.
Wow.
Very athletic, too. He can move. This is going to be the test. Can Bakole adapt?
Okay, so I'm thinking, for someone who doesn't follow boxing super closely, what does that even mean, to be a mobile boxer?
Good question.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine it like this. A mobile boxer, they're like a fencer.
Okay, I can see that.
Moving in and out, looking for openings. Bakole, with his style, he's like a battering ram. He wants to break down a wall.
I get it.
But if the wall keeps moving...
Much harder to hit.
Exactly.
So tell me more about Ajagba. What makes him such a challenge?
Well, first of all, the guy's got a powerful right hand. And he's quick, especially for a heavyweight. And his reach, that's another thing. He can keep his opponents at a distance.
So it's not just going to be about power for Bakole.
No.
He's going to have to think about this one.
Absolutely. He's going to have to be smart.
And we can't forget about the mental game.
Oh, right.
Bakole's been very outspoken, calling himself the African champ, has his sights set on Joshua, wants to fight him in Africa. There's a lot of confidence, maybe even some trash talk coming out of his camp.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? Ajagba, he's quiet.
Really?
Reserved. But don't let that fool you. This guy is focused. He's got a lot to prove.
This is going to be interesting.
It is. This fight, it's a real turning point, I think, for both of them. For Bakole, if he wins, he's right up there with the top contenders. No one can deny him. But if he loses...
Big question.
Big questions about whether he can handle this elite level. It's a crossroads for both of them. It's going to be fascinating to watch it all unfold.
It's funny. It's almost like we're talking about two different fights here. We've got this very physical, in-your-face battle coming up with Ajagba. But then there's this whole other thing looming. It's like almost this mythical showdown with Joshua that Bakole just keeps bringing up.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's the immediate challenge, right? That obstacle right there in front of him, Ajagba. But then you've got this larger ambition, like conquering the whole division, proving himself against the very best.
Yeah. And that brings us right back to Joshua. I mean, Bakole has been relentless, calling him out, even saying Joshua's avoiding him. And then there's that video, I don't know if you saw it, Bakole is saying he's going to knock out Ajagba and then knock out Joshua. He even criticizes Joshua for talking about fighting in Nigeria, but then seemingly ignoring another fighter with African roots. What do you think is behind this? Why is Bakole so fixated on Joshua?
Well, I think it's got to be a few things, right? I mean, obviously there's that competitive drive, wants to test himself against the best. But there's a strategy here too, I think.
Okay, I like that.
By calling out Joshua, he's raising his own profile.
Makes sense.
Generating buzz.
Yeah.
Putting pressure on Joshua to respond.
It's like he's playing chess, not just boxing.
That's a great way to put it. He's thinking a few moves ahead. And we can't forget the historical context here either. Joshua's talked about this like homecoming fight in Nigeria, where his family's from. And Bakole, he's got African heritage too. So he's inserting himself into that narrative. It's like he's saying, hey, if you want to fight in Africa, you got to go through me.
Wow, yeah. That adds like a whole other layer to this.
That does.
It becomes more than just a boxing match. It's about legacy representation.
For sure.
Yeah, claiming a piece of history.
Exactly. And that's what makes Bakole so interesting. He's not just a fighter. He's like a disruptor, shaking things up, challenging the way things are done, both in the ring and outside of it.
I love that. But okay, before we get, too carried away with this whole like Clash of the Titans thing,
Right.
we got to bring it back to reality because Bakole's got Efe Ajagba standing right in front of him. This fight, this is going to tell us a lot. Where does Bakole really stand?
Absolutely. If he can get past Ajagba with all that power and athleticism, then yeah, he's a top contender. That claim for a Joshua fight, it just gets stronger and stronger.
So let's dig into this Ajagba matchup a little bit more. What should we be watching for here? What are the keys to this fight?
Well, one big one is going to be, can Bakole close the distance?
Right.
Without getting caught. Ajagba's got that right hand. You don't want to just run into that.
So he can't just bulldoze forward like he usually does.
No. This one he's going to have to be smarter, more strategic about it.
So footwork, head movement, that's going to be crucial for Bakole.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's going to have to slip, slide, create angles, avoid getting trapped on the ropes. And then the other thing is stamina. Can he keep up that pressure for 12 rounds against a younger, more athletic guy?
So it's not just power and aggression here. It's thinking, it's strategy, it's endurance. He's got to be at his best to beat this guy.
He does. He can't just rely on overwhelming Ajagba. He's going to have to outthink him, outmaneuver him, break him down, physically, mentally. It's like you said before, it's a chess match, not just a brawl.
Right. And don't forget, Ajagba, he can move too. He can counter. We were talking about how Bakole might struggle against mobile fighters. This is his chance to prove everyone wrong.
Exactly. If you can cut off the ring, trap Ajagba, unleash those combinations,
yeah,
that's a statement win. But if Ajagba uses his footwork to stay away, pick his shots, land that right hand, could be a very different story.
Man, so much intrigue. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
One last thing I wanted to touch on. Some people are saying all this trash talk from Bakole, all this focus on Joshua, could it be a distraction?
Yeah. It's possible. But, Bakole's a veteran. I don't think he's going to let it get to him. He knows what's at stake.
Right.
If he loses to Ajagba,
That's it.
all those plans go out the window.
Yeah.
His leverage with Joshua, gone.
Right. He can't afford to look past Ajagba.
Nope.
He's got to stay focused, get the win.
Yeah, prove that he can back up those words.
Man, this has got me so hyped up for this fight. Every fight for Bakole, it feels like another step, another chance to prove the doubters wrong and get closer to that ultimate goal.
That's what's so great about boxing, right? Every fight is a story. And with Bakole, it feels like we're just at the beginning.
It's like there's so much more to this story. As we wrap up this deep dive, what really jumps out at you about Bakole's journey?
Well, you got to admire his belief,
Yeah.
his unwavering belief in himself. When, maybe not that many other people did. He's climbed the ranks, this relentless style, willing to fight anybody, anywhere, overcomes setbacks, defies expectations. That's inspiring, right?
Yeah, it really is. And he's not like sitting around waiting, he's out there making things happen, calling out Joshua, even with this huge Ajagba fight coming up. That's bold.
It is, yeah. It's a risk, for sure.
Yeah.
Calculated, but still. But it also tells you something about his ambition. He doesn't just want to be a contender.
He wants to be the champ.
Exactly. And he wants everyone to know it.
So for our listener, right, why should they care about Martin Bakole?
Well, because he's a fighter. in every sense of the word. He's overcoming these obstacles, defying the odds. He's chasing his dream, and he's doing it with this incredible passion. I think it's a reminder that, hey, anything's possible if you believe in yourself and you're willing to fight for it.
I love that. Yeah, Bakole's rise, this upcoming fight, the whole Joshua thing, it's shaken things up. The heavyweight division, it's different now.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? No matter what happens next, he's already made a mark. He's shown that there's not just one way to get to the top, and sometimes it's these unlikely contenders that become the most interesting champions.
This has been awesome. Such a fascinating look at Martin Bakole, a boxer who demands your attention. He's changing the game, and, we can't wait to see what he does next. So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
Sound the alarm. I'm coming up. We'll have a ball. I'm sweet like a buttercup. You're a Barbie doll.